Hi there, everyone. My name is Tracey McBeath. I'm a health coach in Melbourne, Australia. And last night, on Thursday, the 27th of October, I was lucky enough to present a talk on change and mindset to a group of Dr. Avi's clients and potential patients at her clinic, the Melbourne Low Carb Clinic. Unfortunately, we had a technical glitch in that the sound wasn't recorded. Which is disappointing, but we deal with it. So I am recording this talk for you again so that you can share and learn from what I shared last night. So firstly, thank you to Avi for allowing me to speak. So these are a few of my special interests. So I'm the founder of the Low Carb Lifestyle Hub. The Hub is a platform designed to give you knowledge and information and connect you with people who can really help you nail your low carb journey. The Hub also puts on learning summits. We have done 3 women's health summits. We have done a low carb for beginners, and we're about to do a men's health summit. All of these are available to purchase for a very small price. And if you are interested in really digging deep and getting the right knowledge and finding access to the right information, I encourage you to check out the Hub. Nutrition Network, I do mentoring and I have been a lecturer. I am a lecturer within the Nutrition Network. Of course, I'm a co-founder with Dr. Avi, Gillian and Helena on Low Carb Melbourne, and I am the health and healing coach. So just a little bit about me. I'm a 49-year-old mum of 5. I was a personal trainer for 12 years. And I have been a health coach for 7 years and now a coach mentor for a couple of years. So I mentor other coaches who are looking to get more impact with their clients. I'm an inside out coach practitioner, which basically means I help people change through insight, not through discipline and willpower, but through understanding how the change process really works, how it actually comes from within us. When we see something new, we'll do something new. So we have to create the grounding and the right environment for insight to occur. And that's what I do. And I found this understanding, this inside out paradigm because of my own healing journey that I needed to do. So I have been a lifetime emotional eater and sugar and carb addict. And I also drank almost a bottle of wine every night for about 10 years. And I didn't see that I had a choice to do that. So while I found the low carb lifestyle when I turned 40, because I was diagnosed with fatty liver and pre-diabetes. Fatty liver is pre-diabetes, by the way. So if you have fatty liver, you are pre-diabetic. And so I changed my diet. I found low carb. I went down that rabbit hole of learning from amazing people, but it didn't fix my drinking and emotional eating. I needed something else. There was an extra piece of the puzzle missing. That's why I do what I do. As I said, I'm the creator of the Low Carb Lifestyle Hub, Low Carb Melbourne. 40, massive turning point for me. And I did the physical work. I changed a lot of the diet. But when I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's at 46, which I'm now in remission for that as well, and obviously no fat in my liver and I'm not pre-diabetic, I did the inner emotional work. And for people who are really ready for that, let me tell you, it is the greatest journey you will go on. It will free you to live the life that you want to live. And it's hard and it's challenging and it's confronting. That's the work I do. That's what I take people on. But it is unbelievably amazing when you do it. And you can find me and all my links and connect with me at my website, traceymcbeath.com.au. So can we really change? Well, yes, we absolutely can. So what I want you to do is think about your youngest child, youngest grandchild. If you don't have children or grandchildren, think about someone who you deeply adore. Maybe it's a dog, a pet, maybe it's a niece or a nephew. Now, I want to ask you, have you seen the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks? Because most of us have. So what I want you to imagine is that you and this person that you adore are stuck on a desert island. So you figured out while you're there how to catch some fish with a net, how to break open a coconut to eat the meat and drink the water. You notice a few times of the year there was a month or so of seasons of berries that you could eat. And you also found some birds, so you were able to have their eggs and you were able to eat the birds as well. So my question to you is, would you survive? Well, I don't know anyone who said no. Of course you would survive, because you are having to survive for not just yourself, but also those loved ones around you. And that really helps us dig really deep to do the work we need to do to survive, when we really make that connection that health and us having good health is not just for us. Of course it's for us, and we have to do it for us, but we also do it for the people that we love. Now, if you agreed you would survive, have you ever imagined that you can't live without bread, chocolate, pasta, rice, soft drink, cakes? All the stuff that you know are actually damaging to your health, but you feel that you can't live without? Well, you absolutely can live without it, because you've just told me that you would survive on this desert island, right? So let's talk about what mindset is. So mindset, according to a definition on Google, is a set of beliefs that shapes how you make sense of the world and yourself. It influences how you think, feel, and behave in any given situation. It means that what you believe about yourself impacts your success or failure. Now, it absolutely does. So I actually don't like the word mindset, but you know what I mean when I'm talking about it. So essentially, you have to understand that what you believe is true, right? So if you believe something is going to be hard, well, guess what? It's going to be hard. If you believe you can't do something, you won't be able to do it. If you believe you can't change, you won't. Believe you can't live without something, you won't be able to stop consuming it. Your beliefs, which are made up of conditioned thought or from your life's experience, are what dictates your behavior. Absolutely need to understand that. This is, to me, one of life's biggest illusions, that our behavior can come from anything external. It absolutely cannot. Now, we are triggered by the external world, our kids, our partner, what other people say, the driver that cuts us off on the road, the rude person that does something to us. That will trigger a reaction inside of us. But that reaction is totally ours, and it's totally coming from our own thinking. And you know what? It's absolutely totally changeable. Pretty cool, huh? This is why change is an inside out work. It comes by seeing that when we change our thinking, when we stop paying attention to the habitual conditioned thinking that we all have, we allow space for new stuff to come through, and we allow space for us to increase in our awareness of what's possible and what we can actually do. So all our job is really is to create the right conditions for that to happen. So you don't have to get to work trying to change your thinking. You don't have to get in there and try and manipulate and push away and fear the ones you don't want anymore and stop the ones that you don't want anymore. You can't even do that. And all that will leave you is with exhaustion and, burnout, basically. You don't need to do that. You just have to see that all thought is optional. And with awareness or insight, you can stop believing what you want to stop believing and just see what else is available to you. So you can't necessarily choose the thinking that comes in, but you can totally choose what you grab onto. So understand that we all see the world through our own window, through our own unique set of experiences that only you have. And there are 7.8 billion different windows in the world. So when somebody sees the world differently to us, why on earth are we offended or shocked by that? It is impossible that people will see the world the same way as you. But when you understand that, you get really curious and you want to look behind their window and see what they're seeing. And when you do that, defenses drop and hearts open, and you'll find that you'll be able to connect with anybody that you choose to connect with when you stop paying attention to judgments or how you think it should look like or what you think you know about them, and just show up to what is and get curious as to what they see and get curious about what you see. So another illusion that people don't understand, as I said, where does behavior come from? Where does your behavior come from? Now, behavior change is what we spend so much time and energy trying to do, but we're coming from it from the wrong place. So instead of understanding where it's coming from and looking to the source, we get to work down here, as I said, trying to use willpower and discipline and all these things that we think we should be able to just do that really are fundamentally impossible and do not lead to long-term change. They are very short-term and they're very, very hard work. So you have to understand that we only, as human beings, we only ever operate from a thought. Your thinking leads to a feeling, and that feeling leads to behavior. Now, you may notice the feelings first because so much of our thinking is habitual and subconscious, but it always comes from that. It cannot work in any other way. So if you only take that bit of information from my talk and get curious about that and start to notice that in your life, and instead of reacting straight away to your thinking, saying, well, that's one option, but if I wait and ask the question, is what I'm about to do, whether that's a behavior, like a choice in terms of what I eat or what I say to someone, how I treat myself, or the things I say to myself, is that actually taking me towards the life I want or away? Before any action, there is a choice point. But most of the time, we don't stop and consider whether we want to make a different choice. We simply react from the habitual thinking we have and the feelings that we have inside of us. Instead of making a considered pause and saying, wow, maybe there is another way. This is the biggest illusion out there that looks like behavior comes from outside of us. It does not. It never can. The outside world, as I said, triggers within you, but your actions are always a response to your thinking. So whatever is going on for you right now, if you want to change that, stop looking outside of you and start looking inside for the real answers. Because people don't know this, as I said, they get to work trying to use things like willpower and discipline. They buy another course, they sign up to this, they buy another 12-week program, they do this, they do that, all these things because they think, and it's an innocent misunderstanding. Don't get me wrong, because I thought this was how it works till I was about 43. But understanding how it really works, as I said, will fundamentally change your life. And change can be effortless when you understand that what you need is insight, insight and awareness. So let me tell you that trying to change things from the behavior thought, from the behavior through willpower and discipline is hard work, doesn't get you very far. And I pretty much guarantee that you've tried that probably many, many times in your life. So what if there was an easier way? Well, there absolutely is. So what if you could just suspend your current beliefs on how change works and see if what I'm going to share with you might make it a whole lot easier, a whole lot more fun, and a whole lot more successful for you. So to change behavior, we have to have an insight. So what is insight? It's new thinking, new beliefs that lead us to new behaviors. Without insight, without awareness, sustained change beyond a few weeks or months, sometimes even years, will not last. I work with many people who have been on and off the wagon in terms of low carb for maybe 7-8 years because they don't fundamentally work at this understanding of where change truly comes from. They spend time using willpower, using discipline to try and not eat the foods they know they shouldn't eat. Doesn't last very long. If you want sustained long-term lifestyle change, you need to let go of what you currently believe and create space for insight. But how do we actually do that? Well, I'm going to show you. So firstly, as I said, you have to suspend the belief that you think you already know. That's what we think. That's what we think is all there to know. Sorry. That's what we think there is. When we think we know all there is to know, we don't, we won't learn more. We're not open to new thinking. And human beings do that, really. And it's innocent, because what the brain says is, well, I want you to keep doing what you've always done, because if you change from that, well, number one, it's pretty draining on our energy system, but number two, it's very risky. And you need to understand that human beings are tribal creatures living in a modern world. Let me say that again. We are tribal creatures living in a modern world. Our brain has, and our physical body has not evolved from our hunter-gatherer people. Now, if we did something different to the tribe and we got kicked out, we would die. Now, in this modern world, that doesn't happen. But that brain telling us and looking constantly for risks is what gets people into trouble all the time. So you need to become a lifelong learner. Suspend the belief that you think you know everything, because you do not. And I will tell you that for the rest of my life, I'm going to show up to each and every day knowing that there is always more to see. It's an illusion that knowledge or knowing, thinking that we know everything gives us comfort. It does not. It is an illusion. And actually, comfort is found in being able to change your mind, being able to get insight whenever you see something new. So, as I said, it's really important to understand that your brain doesn't want you to learn, okay? It does not want you to learn. And it's going to do everything it can to try and sabotage your efforts. It's going to say things to you like, I can't change. I've failed many times. What if I fail again? I'm too old. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I don't know enough. I can't live without. It's going to say all those things to you, but that is not you. That is not what you value, because if you were aligning your behaviors with what you value, which is your health, you would do it like that. So I'm going to help you to align your behaviors with your health, but you have to see that your thinking is universal energy passing through you, and it's mostly habitual and it's very conditioned, and it's not you, and you do not have to change it. You do not have to pay attention to it. Your brain, like my brain, says many things negative to me all day, every day. It's pretty much what it's designed to do. But I know I don't have to pay attention to it, and I can choose the direction I want to head into, regardless of what my brain is saying. So, creating insight. How do we do it? There are two techniques I use with my clients to help them create the space between their actions and their thinking. So, well, their thinking and their actions, really. If we do not create that space between our thinking and our reaction to that, we will keep doing the same things over and over again. What is the definition of insanity? Doing the same things over and over again and expecting a different result. And human beings do it all the time, because they do not understand that for change to happen, they have to create the space for insight. And so there's two techniques. The first one I'm going to talk about is called the considering cup, and the second one is the owl, my favorite animal. So let's talk a little bit about the considering cup. So I've told you that your brain is going to try and sabotage you, and your brain doesn't like change. Your brain, like 7.8 billion brains on the planet, is made up of a collection of what's called thought systems, as I said, which is all your experiences and interactions and beliefs and what you think you can and can't do, and all your conditioned thought that's been created over your lifetime. Now, when the brain sees a threat to that, which is a possibility of a new belief, what it does is, as I said, it will do everything in its power to stop you changing your beliefs, and it will go as far as discrediting the person saying it. Your brain will instantly say things like, oh, that's ridiculous, that can't be true. So really, we all have brains that are belief blind until we understand this. And this is why people get so offended. You see it every day on social media. where someone says something that's, you know, from a different belief to them, and they get all upset and all offended. How could that possibly be right? Because I'm right. Your brain is going to tell you you're right all the time. How's that, hey? So we're going to drop that by doing something called the considering cup. So every time, I want you to start to notice how quickly your brain wants to dismiss new information. Maybe it's information that says fat doesn't make you fat, and fat doesn't cause heart disease, and saturated fat, beautiful animal saturated fat, doesn't do all the bad things that we've been led to believe for so long. Well, the first time I heard that, I went, oh my God, that's ridiculous. Of course it does, because my brain was doing its job, which was helping me stay in the same belief, so I didn't risk getting kicked out from the tribe. So put it over here. Notice what your brain wants to dismiss. Write it down and put it in a cup. Actually physically do it, because what you're doing is you're giving yourself permission to decide, not your habitual brain. So this is a really good activity to do, say, for the next month. Be aware, notice, watch how quickly your brain wants to jump in and say, no, that's ridiculous. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. Write it down, put it in your considering cup, and leave it there. You don't have to do anything about it. Just leave it there. But maybe in a few days or a week, come back and read it. And you know what will happen is you will actually have created the space to see whether it's worth considering or whether it's not worth considering. At the end of the day, you get to decide. You are responsible for your life. You are responsible for the choices you make. Nobody else is responsible for those. So what you're doing is giving yourself a chance to learn and to grow and to let go of outdated beliefs that are not serving you anymore. So grab a considering cup, fill it up. I had a jug and it was full, but you know what? It was just so freeing to see that I could actually change my beliefs. So the interesting story I told was that, you know, when I really discovered that fat wasn't the evil villain that we'd been made out to be, and, you know, we actually really need it, and it's essential for our brain and our body to work properly. I stood there probably for 2 years cooking dinner for myself and my family, and my brain spat up, what are you doing? You're going to kill them. You're going to give them heart disease. I had to have that thinking there because it was an old belief, but still do, align my behavior with what I now saw to be true. So your brain is not going to drop your old belief. It'll probably still keep coming up. But you know what? You do not have to follow it. You can have it there, but still choose to align with your new belief. So now I'm going to talk about an acronym from a beautiful bird that is just stunning called the owl. And the acronym is to observe, willing, and live your values. So these 3 things, if you spend some time understanding and using these techniques before you act in your day, you will automatically create space for insight. So let's talk about the O in the owl, which is observing. I could have used many words, noticing, being curious, but notice. If all you ever did after this talk was spend some time getting off automatic pilot in your day, you will start to notice things, start to notice the feeling you're sitting in, and where is your mind? Start to notice your habitual reactions, your habitual actions. Notice, observe. So this acronym will be helpful for you when you are in situations where you need to take a mindful pause and make a choice, so a different choice, right, associated with your health journey. So observe the situation. Get present to the situation. Get out of your head and back mindfully to the present moment. Most people live in their head. You're not in your day when you're in your head, because all your mind is doing is trying to come up with different scenarios and trying to predict the future. It's trying to protect you. But when that's happening, you're missing most of your day, and actually you're exhausted without actually doing very much. So pay attention with curiosity. This automatically helps you to respond effectively to your thoughts and feelings. It helps you take a step back from difficult feelings and choose the most effective path. Is what I'm about to do going to take me towards or away from my health goals? Am I following that feeling out of fear, out of habit, out of trying to find relief? Most of what we do is trying to find relief from a uncomfortable feeling. We do not need to do that when we understand that all feeling is coming from thought. And once the thinking passes, the feeling shifts. We do not have to try to numb it, to drink our way out of it, to eat our way out of it. And we absolutely can learn to sit in discomfort and know that we're okay. We can do the hard things. If you have some habits that you don't want to do anymore, I have 100% certainty tell you it's going to be uncomfortable to give it up. But you're going to meet them head on. You're not going to fear them. And you're not going to fear the discomfort that comes with it. Because you're an incredible human being with all the gifts that you need inside of you to allow you to sit through that, to come out the other side and know, hey, I am okay. And every time you do that, you transfer power from that habitual mind back into your heart. And it is a moment by moment process. Nobody can do it for you. I'm lighting up the path. I'm showing you where to look to see this, to be free from this. But you have to go through these experiences yourself. But you can confront them. Hi, g'day habit that tells me I need to open that bottle of wine. G'day habit that says I'm bored and I want to eat. G'day habit that says I'm a loser and I'm not good enough, so I'm going to eat some chocolate. I see you. I'm not afraid of you anymore. I don't need to fear you. I know where you're coming from now. And I'm going to watch you. And before I make any choices, I'm going to decide whether you are taking me towards or away from the goals that I have for myself. So you must get curious to see that all you're ever feeling is your own thinking and you do not need to fear it. Can you get curious that your mind is spinning all this negative habitual conditioned thought, but you are the one who gets to choose if you follow that or not. Be curious. Now, my second word from the W is willingness, and this is my most favorite word in the English language. It is similar to courage, and courage, or quiet courage, is what it takes to successfully change your lifestyle when the world, your family, and your mind may be screaming at you not to do it. And it's quiet courage because nobody's going to see it. You don't need an audience. You don't need someone cheering you. You don't need someone going, yeah, you did it. You know what? Your witness to that yourself is all you need, and it is the most powerful witness that you can ever have. It's about choosing to do something that is important to you, even if it means some distress along the way. And I can guarantee you there will be distress, as I said, along the way. Are you willing to sit through the discomfort of an urge to see that you really don't have to act on it? Discomfort is unavoidable with behavior change. But so what? You're okay. You're okay. A thought or a feeling can never hurt you. It can never hurt you. It's your reaction to that does the damage. But you don't have to react. Are you willing to know, or to not know all the answers, but still take small steps anyway? Another illusion our mind spits out to protect us is, I have to know everything before I start. No, you don't. Focus on one change. Make one change that you see to make. And I promise you the rest will unfold for you. Can you have boredom visit and still stay committed to your food choices? Each time you answer yes to these questions, you're choosing to be willing, because it is a choice. You have to choose it. I choose willingness. I've written all over this, but see this word here, I don't know if you can read it. Willingness is the word I have in my consciousness every day, because every day I have to make that choice to be willing to do the difficult stuff. Every day I have to make that choice to not listen to my mind that says I'm not good enough. Every day I have to make that choice to show up for my clients when I'm my mind or I have other priorities. And I had to be very willing to sit with the discomfort when I saw that I didn't have to eat or drink my way out of an uncomfortable feeling anymore. You have to be willing to have difficult feelings in order to act effectively. They are unavoidable as human beings. It takes courage to risk failure, fear, sadness, embarrassment, anger, and disappointing someone. You have to be willing to have other people around you not agree with your lifestyle choices and be okay with that. You don't need their approval. You do not need it. You just need to know it's the direction that you want to go in. Of course, you shouldn't always be willing, but you need to choose to be willing for those things that you deeply care about. And you're here, so I'm assuming you deeply care about your health. So living your values, that's the L in the owl. Living your values. What do you value? What's important to you? Living your way means discovering what matters to you and living according to this. I call this living your values. It's what's important to you, not what is important to other people. Most of us innocently create lives that are about pleasing others and doing what other people want. Society, our culture, our family members. You have to see beyond those conditioned thoughts if you want to connect with your own innate compass and your values, and not get to the end of your life and wish or regret that you didn't do that. What do you want in your life? How would you like to live? Values are your compass. They're your inner GPS system. Values are the qualities you want to bring to your actions right now. They really are your heart's deepest desires of how you want to behave as a human being, how you want to treat yourself, others, and the world around you. And without them, you can wander aimlessly. Why would you want to do that? So what do you value? This is a really hard thing. I know my clients struggle with this, and I spend a lot of time helping them on this, but it is worth the struggle to figure this out and to really ask yourself the tough questions. And if you want help, consider joining my coaching group, The Art of Thriving. We spend a lot of time on working out what we value and having the courage to align our life with that, no matter what our mind and everybody else around us is saying. So the last thing I want to share with you is something that Dr. Tony Hampton, who I interviewed the other night for the Men's Health Matter series, shared with me. And it's a book called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying by a lady called Bonnie Ware. So Bonnie is an Australian, and she was very unsatisfied with her work. So she ended up creating or deciding to go and spend years with people who are dying. So she looked after them in palliative care. She went to their home to care for them. And she talked to them, and she got to know from thousands of people what their biggest regrets were with their life before they died. And a quote from her book is, "Finding the courage to act will never be as painful as lying on a deathbed with regret." So you need to acknowledge this now, because life is going at the speed of light. 10 years passes very quickly. Do not wake up at 70 and 75 and wish you had done this when you were 40 or 30 or younger. Do it now. Decide to live a regret-free life where you will not leave anything on the table. And when you're lying on your deathbed, you won't have any regrets. But these are the top 5, the themes that came out from every person she spoke to before they died. And the number 1 was, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. Living your values. Number 2 is, I wish I hadn't worked so hard in an unsatisfying job, for a baseless corporation, for companies that don't care about you, for that you don't give back anything and spend all your life trying to prove yourself to this company that doesn't care about you at the expense of doing things that matter. Your health, your family. How many people devote their life to their job with the thinking, oh, when I retire, I'll leave my job. But then they retire, they've got no health, or they're dead, or their wife's unwell, or they're unwell and they have to be looked after and they can't do the things they want to do. Don't wait. Do it now. You don't need to be on that hamster wheel. And in fact, you need to get off it to consider your values and what matters to you if you want to start taking control of your life. Number 3, I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. Why are we so afraid of expressing our feelings? It's conditioned thought that we shouldn't do that, but we absolutely are allowed to express our true feelings. I wish I'd stayed in touch with my true friends. Get back in touch with the people you deeply care about that really had a connection with you, or you had a connection with them, or create new ones and make an effort to stay in touch with people. Don't sit back and wait for people to come to you. You need to go and get it. Go and create it. No one's coming to save you. No one is coming to live your life for you. You need to do it yourself. And the last one is, I wish I had let myself be happier. Happiness absolutely is a choice, but I want you to see it as a myth that we are happy all the time. Human beings are not designed that way. But can you see how when we start to understand where our feelings are coming from, we don't have to fear it. We don't have to take it so seriously either. We can see that all thinking, all feelings come and go, just like the weather. Some days it's cloudy and rainy, and we feel that. Then that shifts and the sun comes out. But you know, the sun is always there. Your innate well-being is always within you, and that can never be lost, destroyed, or taken away. And whenever you don't feel it, it's just because some thought is temporarily clouding your connection to that. But you absolutely can choose how you see any situation that's in front of you. It is your choice. If you want to focus on the negative and the habitual and the fear, that's what you're choosing. Well, that doesn't create a very good feeling inside of you. And that feeling is your impact and energy that you put out into the world and all the people that are around you. So the ripple effect of when you heal yourself and when you look within and you take control of your life and your health is amazing. Now, you may lose people around you who can't handle that because their version of you is changed and they can't handle that, but that's okay. You can't change what people think about you. You can give them the space to walk away or to accept who you are, but you do not change who you are to be accepted by other people. No more of that. No more of that. Align with who you are and do the work you need to do to heal your body and get the health that you absolutely deserve, because it's not just about weight loss. That's the tip of the iceberg. It's about living the most incredible life that you deserve to live. I don't just want you to be healthy. I want you to thrive. And I want you to have an amazing life, because we've only got one shot at it. And why wouldn't we want to make it the most amazing experience ever? I hope that was helpful. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.